Check, check. All right. I'm here. Had to rush downstairs. I was doing something right before this. And let me know if anyone's here. Generally have. Oh, hello. Hey, Dave. How's it going? Let's see. I think today I wanted to start by taking a look at the piece I did for, I guess it was last week's video, UPL. I don't know if anyone's checked out that video yet. This video it was like a response to a recent Adam Neely thing that he did, and then I wrote a song that went along with it. So take a little look at that. And then I'm not sure. I need to practice a few things that I'm currently writing or have just written. So maybe I'll do a little bit of that, show you my process on practicing that kind of stuff. And I don't know. There's a song I did in July that I never really kind of got into and broke down. So it's just whatever people want. Ask me questions about things. Any of my recent videos or any of that kind of stuff. Oh no. Oh, Studio One closed on me. Have a lot of stuff open with the OBS running as well. How's everybody doing today on this Friday? Where is my... Okay. Too many things to set up here. There's my guitar. Let's see if Studio One can open this time. Usually I open all my programs before I start streaming, but today's been really crazy. Oh, it shut down on me again. I don't know if this is going to work. That's fun. Oh, yeah, that is selective picking. 50 seconds in on that song. So I don't have a I used a little bit of a hair tie, like slightly on, to kind of get a more muted sound. So the basic pattern for that, is I can pull up the tab later too for that, but that's kind of the idea anyway. So I picked twice. It kind of looks like alternate picking maybe because I'm picking quite a few of the notes, but I'm not picking all of the notes. So it's like I pick twice, then hammer on. It's kind of a sound, then I go through. That was the pattern. It's also heavily muted. Not warmed up enough to do that. Yeah, it's that kind of selective picking thing. But a lot of it relies on it being really muted. And then also the tone too. I had some extra compression going as well for the actual recorded part. If I could get in to Studio One here, you'll see that there's a lot of because this is the final mix of this song. The program itself has a lot of plugins and stuff, so we'll see if it can handle opening. Like if it's already open, there we go. Hey, it opened up. If it's already open, it usually doesn't have a problem, but I've never tried to open it while I'm also live streaming. Yeah, that part was weird, and I definitely didn't record it all in one take. I did this song really quickly. Like I wrote it and recorded it and mixed it within like the course of like 2 days or something like that while doing a bunch of other stuff. So there was a little trickery as far as like the recording process. Like I recorded, I think on that selective picking part, I recorded just the C sharp minor, and then I went and recorded the next chord part and kind of strung them together. But that's the nature of doing this kind of complex music really quickly. Usually I'd give myself more time to kind of record this stuff, but it was fun. So if you have anyone has any questions on this specifically, let me know. Obviously the video I made kind of went into some of my process on writing this. But essentially nothing in this song is slower than a 16th note at 175 beats per minute. And when I say that, I mean no instrument. So like individual drums will be for sure, right? It's not like I have crash cymbals going at like 175 beats per minute at 16th notes. That would be ridiculous. But no, the entire time, at least one of the drums is playing faster than that. Same thing with the other instruments. When they're playing, they're all playing that fast. It was just kind of a test for myself to see if I could write something that sounded remotely musical, that was at a really high speed the whole time. Now I can try to play some of this stuff for you. I make no guarantees that I can do any of it really that cleanly now, up to speed. Some of it, but anyway, so the drums I actually printed to audio, which I don't always do, but in this case I kind of wanted to do that just so I could treat it like acoustic drums. So I got it programmed exactly how I wanted, and then I printed it to audio. So here's how the drums sound on their own. If you have any questions on any of the like processing part of it, let me know too. There's quite a bit going on here. Every time I do a mix, it gets a little bit more insane. Right, so that whole time there's 16th notes going on in the hi-hat, just keeping that speed up. And then you have the sort of rhythm guitars enter, and the bass enter with that too. This is Modern and Massive from Get Good Drums, which is kind of my go-to drum software. Obviously, I've printed it to audio and done a bunch of other stuff on the processing part of it, but let's take a look at the bass, which I'm going to just mention that my bass guitar was terribly, has terribly dead strings right now because I kill strings so fast because my hands are like super corrosive. So typically I'd want more of a bitey sort of DI sound on the bass, but you know, it is what it is. So here's how the DI just sounds on its own. I mean, it sounds kind of weird. And the thing is, it's also really fast and really low on the bass. So like those combinations of things makes it, I don't think, terribly clear. But I did a bunch of things to kind of make it a little bit clearer, I think. So I have 3 different bass. So I took the same bass part that I recorded and duplicated it 2 more times. So you have 3. The DI bass, which is just the low, kind of that low fundamental tone, and then the clean bass, which gives you some of the attack. And then the dirty bass, which is kind of the main one, and that's your distorted. But all those combined, you get this was stupid hard to play on bass. And I would normally never write bass parts like this, really, but because of the restrictions I gave myself on the song, it's like I kind of was forced to do these super fast bass parts, which was really not that easy to do. But it was fun. That's the bass there. And then the guitars. And that kind of, the bass essentially just following the guitars for the majority of this song. Nothing really super fancy there. So we get the rhythm guitars in there too. right? That's the sound there, and then of course that's double with all the kick drums too. So just the rhythm instruments on here. That part actually sounds really cool without the lead guitars. So I did do some chopping, like you'll see in the rhythm guitars. I really wanted that sort of intense. Those notes to really feel chopped. That it's very unnatural. It's kind of like the djenty type of thing. But I think on this particular part, it works pretty well. I don't always do that on my rhythm parts. Some places where it feels necessary, I'll do that kind of chop-in stuff. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I lost my... There it is. It's weird. The stream is being a little bit weird here on me. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so there's all the rhythm parts, and those kind of make up a bulk of the song, right? There's this kind of section in the middle with the selective picking thing I talked about earlier that doesn't really have any rhythm instruments in it besides the drums. And then we got the lead guitars. Now all these things I've kind of printed to audio, so they're showing up as stereo tracks. Now that's not how I'm recording. I'm recording in mono, and it just makes it easier if I have everything kind of like, here's the final takes, put it in for the mixing process, and go from there. Here's the lead guitar. I think that sounds really nice, using the neck pickup on my PRS. The processing does add a lot to that too. So that's it dry, and then all the effects. Lots of delay and reverb. I think that's important for this kind of stuff. Because everything's so fast, like I wanted the delay and reverb to kind of fill in some of that extra space, The second lead guitar is the exact same processing. That only comes in on the last sort of chorus section where they're harmonized here. That's panned hard right. There's a lot of pick attack noise in there. That could have just been the tone I was using. I don't know. And also when you're tremolo picking like that. I feel like a lot of that kind of pick attack comes in when you're doing that kind of stuff. Lead guitar is pretty straightforward. I mean, they really only do that sort of tremolo picked chorus and then the little arpeggio. That's actually not too hard to play, that particular part, because there's space. Like anytime there's some space between the fast notes, it's not as bad. And that lead guitar is actually, the lead guitar in general is doubled pretty much, I think, completely by a synth. It's this sound. That's one of the ones I use from Native Instruments. Massive is kind of my go-to lead sound. That blends in nicely with the guitar. And actually, I had to program this to do 16th notes just to kind of keep in line with the task I set myself. So if you'll hear in this chorus part, the lead synth is actually like striking 16th notes. which sounds really weird, but in combination with the guitar. Right? That kind of a sound. And like when I isolate this stuff like that, you can tell it's like the guitar is not like it's maybe a little sloppy in places, you know. It's like it's not inhumanly precise. Because I don't really like to go for that, you know. I maybe did more editing on the guitars in this particular song because of the amount of time I had than I normally would do. But I really don't want to get that sort of inhuman type sound. So like if Find a Run, as long as it's tight to me and sounds good, I'm not too worried about it being like absolutely like metronomically perfect. So, because in the context of the mix, like you can't tell on that run, you know. You know, with all the other instruments going on, it sounds really nice. Isolated, maybe you're like, oh, they're not like 100% in sync, but it's close enough. And then we had that selective picking part that I was talking about earlier. And this is it with nothing. So it's pretty good to begin with, but I added some extra compression, cleaned up the EQ, and then a little more saturation and some delay and reverb. And then to give that a little more atmosphere, there's two pianos going with it. One is just my go-to acoustic piano sound. And I added a little bit of reverb onto that too. And then there's this acoustic piano sound, or this piano sound, which is like... It's heavily reverbed, and there's kind of like a toy piano type thing. So the two pianos together. I think that sounds pretty cool. And then the guitar. Right, it all kind of just blends together. And I think because of the way that part is played, and the pianos and stuff, it has a little bit of an atmosphere, and that's kind of what I was at least attempting to do, since this song is so fast the whole time. You know, I think it was important that there be some kind of atmosphere somewhere in the middle of the song. We got this guitar. Which... got a little bit of flanger and like super heavy delay and reverb. Once again, trying to make something that kind of sounded atmospheric a little bit. Is that all the guitars? Oh, there's the intro guitar. That sounds pretty dark when it's dry. And that part, I'm not going to be able to probably play it that cleanly now, but I can at least show everyone how that goes. I mean, it's essentially just some arpeggios that I do a lot. So you have like a 6 pattern, which is a combination of arpeggios and scales. So it's like B major 9. I'm just kind of doing that straight up. Then so it's 6, 6, 6, 5, 5. But much faster than that, obviously. Something like that. I don't know. What's the actual speed? Yeah, it's stupid fast. Something like that. That wasn't very clean, but that's the idea. It's actually like, it wasn't too bad once I spent a little bit of time with it, because it's kind of the same type of pattern over and over again. Those things just require some time to kind of, get up to speed. Yeah, so that's the last guitar in there. Then other than that, that's doubled with a couple of synths. These are 2 synths together. That one has more attack, and this is... Once again, as you notice, like almost all the guitar parts, except for like the riffs, are doubled with keyboards. That just kind of, for me, is something I do a lot, obviously, with writing prog. And because this stuff is so technical, I honestly think it makes some of it sound a little bit cleaner to have like really, well, essentially perfect keyboard parts like going along with it. So you kind of get the extra attack from the keyboard that adds into the attack from the guitar as well. So what other? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, there's this electric piano. Actually, first. There's this harpsichord that comes in. Stranger Things synth. It kind of does sound like that. That one? I don't even remember which one I used on this, because I can't even look at the plugin because I printed it to audio. I want to say it was... Let me pull it up. It's plugin by Plugin Alliance that I like a lot. This... Where is it? Oh, I guess it would be under Instruments, not Effects. Yeah, this one. NIF Audio. Nifonium? I don't even know how to pronounce it. Anyway, it's a really, really good synth plugin. It's got all sorts of awesome presets. It actually has like, there's one preset I really like that was made by Jordan Rudess. I don't think that's this one, but. And then this is massive, I'm pretty sure. This one. Or maybe this is this must be the Stranger Synth. String synth. This is like super shreddy Stranger Things, right? Wonder if I slowed it down, what it would sound like. It would be interesting. I should like take this song and just in the DAW, just like slow it down 75% or something, and just like, I don't know, to like 60% and see what it sounds like. Might sound better, actually, probably. Anyway, so I'm doubling, though that part actually gets doubled with a harpsichord too. So that's all the keys going there. The harpsichord, I really liked using harpsichord to add like attack to it. In this case, it's fairly forward in the mix actually, but well, not really once it gets going. But the harpsichord is a good doubling instrument. Obviously, if you boost the harpsichord in a mix, you'll kind of get that harpsichord Baroque sound, and sometimes I don't necessarily want that particular sound stylistically, but the attack of it, like the tone of it, blends well nicely with other stuff. The only other thing is this electric piano comes in at the end, and there's a synth too, and they kind of double this heavy riff at the end with these bends. The bends. Right, and they in contact with the guitars. Anyway, that's cool. I like to double, like when I'm doing that kind of doubling on heavy riffs, you'll notice I'm only doubling the higher parts of the riff, like the higher notes. So I'm not doing the like all those low notes. I'm just doubling the ones that pop out, those bent kind of runs, and then some of the faster sort of movements, right? Like there. I think that just kind of, it's not really worth it to try to do that for the whole riff, because on the low notes, it's like it's just going to be, it's kind of a muddy mess already as it is with a really fast riff like this, but the synth would just make it a complete gargled mess. I do double riffs with synthesizer and organ sometimes, but that's typically on slower riffs and things that are more kind of traditional progressive, like progressive rock riffs or traditional progressive metal riffs. I think those sound really good when they're doubled by keyboards or organs. This kind of technical, heavy, really heavy stuff doesn't typically work so well. Either that or it ends up getting pushed so far back in the mix that it's like, it doesn't even really have a point in being there. So, but I do that a lot on the heavy stuff, just to kind of ramp up a riff, is just to have certain parts doubled by keyboard. And maybe that would happen, like in this case, the riff plays by itself a couple times and then the keyboards come in. And I do that sometimes where I have a riff, the first time it happens, it's just the guitars and bass, and then the second time through, maybe some keyboards jump in. It's an arrangement thing too, if you're going to repeat sections to kind of build it up. So that's UPL. I mean, if you want to check it out, I have the playthrough video up on my channel. There's also the video where I talk about how I went about composing the time signatures and stuff. If anyone has questions on that, you can ask me here, and I have the sheet music I could pull up. But I'm not going to go into too much depth there, because I covered that pretty thoroughly in my video. Cool. So I thought it'd be fun to, well, maybe not that fun. We'll see how fun it's going to be to try to practice some new music I'm writing. I'm not gonna. I don't want to spoil too much, because I'm currently like in the middle of writing my next album. So try not to give away too much by having this here. But I thought it would be kind of fun to go over a few riffs. There's one in particular I'm thinking of from this song. It was a keyboard riff that I copied over onto guitar, and I thought it sounded really cool, but I haven't even like attempted to play it. So I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to play on guitar. So you can see the process of me trying to figure out how to play a keyboard part on guitar. Okay. I don't know is Guitar Pro coming through in the... Okay, it is. I'll play this here really quick. I'm not going to give away too much, but... That's the part. I'm not sure exactly what techniques I'm going to use yet, so I got to figure that out. All right, let's just look at the notes. Make sure I'm in tune first. So I'm just going to try to figure out the note. I don't even have the fingerings. Like, it kind of auto put in the fingerings once I copied from keyboard onto the guitar here. So I got to figure out the fingerings first, and then I'm going to try to play it as I go. Stupid camera. Yeah, this is pretty quick. I'm going to use a lot of legato, so I actually don't think... We'll see. I say this now, but it might not actually be too bad to play. I'm not going to try to alternate pick it. That would be stupid. Yeah, so these B-flat notes here are going to go down to the next string. I'm probably going to do... I'm just going to put in the note, like the hammer-ons and pulse and stuff, just for myself. Let's just pin this up here. Now, do I want to do... I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to use quite a bit of legato. I think the smooth sound actually is going to work really well here. Not too bad, actually. Trying to decide if I want to do more pick notes in there somewhere. And I could hybrid pick, like when it skips strings. I might do that, or it might be cooler just to pick it. I need my, I don't have my guitar stool thing in here to put my leg up. It'd be easier to practice this stuff, especially when it's stretchy. We get a different tone. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. With some, with just picking, not hybrid picking. Probably better for this kind of a riff to have the pick sound. Alright, so I'm going to have to, I think I'm going to legato through this whole string here. Oh man, what the heck is this? Alright, so this is just a 4-bar pattern that repeats. So I'm already 1 bar through it. From here. I'm going to turn my noise gate up here just for the sake of practice. I think that's how I'll do it. So I'm going to have to pull off, slide, hammer. That'll be picked on the next string. And then this will be there. This will be there. So I'm just kind of changing what strings these notes are on. This will definitely be legato. And these will all go down a string. Let me figure out how I'm going to execute that. Okay, so I'm going to slide, because I can't really do 4 notes per string. And then that'll be a pull off. Alright, so there's the first half. Okay, I think that's doable. I'm practicing for a minute here. That's definitely a good enough fingering for me to do this that quickly. This kind of riff I'm probably going to have to memorize and then practice this part, because it's just, if I'm trying to read it, it's going to be hard to kind of also play it at the same time. I'm just going to have to really focus on my fingers, because I'm sliding around a lot through the whole thing. Okay, that was from memory. Okay, let's pull up the metronome. That was 110, and the final speed is 150. I don't know if my metronome and my guitar actually sync up on my stream, so if it sounds like I'm off, it's probably just the metronomes. So that's full speed. I just want to see what it feels like. I won't be able to do it probably. Oh yeah, definitely doable. Definitely doable. I probably will use some hybrid picking on that last part. Okay. All right, cool. That's good. Let me figure out the fingerings for the second part here. Oh, geez, that's a weird jump. That makes me think maybe I should... Maybe that previous part needs to shift up so I can get to this next part. Well, I'll just have to figure it out later. That's how I'm going to have to do this, I think. That's stupid, but those are the notes, and the only way is I can get them out, because those are... And this, that looks okay. And this will have to be... oops. And this will be more legato. If anyone's jumping on, I'm just trying to figure out a fingering for this new riff I'm working on. Okay, let's try this. Oh, it reverses it. What the heck is that? It's doable. That stretch sucks. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun to play. It's definitely not easy, but... And then, where does it go from there? 5 and 6. Oh, man, what? Might do more stretchy. So then it would be like 6, 9, and 10, and then 6, 10, and 11. Oh, that sucks. That is a terrible stretch. Once again, if I had my leg up in a proper position, I think that would be much more doable. Then here I'm going to do kind of the same thing I did on the first section, where it's like a pull off and then slide up and then hammer on. And this part looks the same as the last measure. Yeah. And what is this? It's similar patterns kind of throughout. It's just a matter of the fingerings. It sounds so cool, especially in context. It's just really crazy. All right, I'm going to just very slowly do the whole thing here. Boom, that is doable. So I believe it's exactly the same across. So I'm going to copy this just so I have it for later. I'm not going to probably be able to work it up to speed right now, but I can at least, you know, kind of work on it a little bit. Let's maybe choose, I can do percentages here on Guitar Pro. Once again, I don't know if my Guitar Pro and my guitar are going to sync up. So if it doesn't, let me know. That's half speed. That sounds, yeah, I think that's gonna work. Let me get a different tone. These strings are pretty dead too, so that is not helping, but that's that last part there. Now what I need to do is also do the beginning of the third bar after I practice the first two bars, because I need to be able to transition, you know, from one section to the next. Ooh, I have to deal with the pinky. That's why I'm thinking I should maybe move that last part down or up a string. I'm trying to figure out how I'd even do that. I might just have to jump back. Yep, I can do it. That's definitely the way to do it. It's stupid, but I can do it. Okay. Cool. So let's practice the second half a little bit. Okay, I think that was it by memory. Oof. It's kind of weird because the frets are like, it's like one fret different. I feel like every time I do it, just the way it's written. So that makes it kind of hard to practice. There we go. Ooh, my memory is what's hurting me here. It's really hard to remember all that. If I'm reading it, it's a little easier, but then it's harder to play because I'm not focusing on playing it. I'm just going to try to play the whole thing straight through at a reasonable tempo. Then where does it start again? Does it start on the bottom? Yes, so. I'm going to try to do it twice in a row at like this slower speed. There I was, straight through twice. So that kind of slow practice is going to help with my memory. And once I have it memorized, then kind of speeding it up is going to be a lot easier. Because then this is definitely within my range of playing at this speed, especially with all the legato, and I think it sounds cool that way. Like if I was trying to alternate pick this, there's absolutely no way. Like maybe some of it I could alternate pick, but I think the smooth sound actually sounds better here, and that's going to be the best way for me to pull this off cleanly and have it sound really cool. You know, if we listen to this whole part, like you can hear, there's a lot of aggressive kind of stuff happening around it and on top. So I think doing it legato is going to make things nice and smooth. Oh, I guess they're up to speed. Anyway, so I think it'll sound really cool like that. Oh yeah, I think I got the first. And like, part of the reason I'll jump up and do it really quickly as I'm practicing is like just to see if I can do it right. So I'm going to make sure that these fingerings are going to be the best for getting this up to the speed that it needs to be at. And yeah, and I think these definitely are. It feels fairly comfortable. It's weird. Like, it's definitely a really weird riff, very unorthodox, and I think the reason is because I wrote it on synth or for keyboard and synth, and then I'm translating it over to the guitar in a lower register. So that is cool. I mean, it's a really cool way to write stuff because you end up with something that's not very guitaristic. There's a lot of jumps in here that I wouldn't maybe normally do when writing a riff. And it's also obviously a very fast riff because it's straight 16th notes at 150 beats per minute. But yeah, this is not too bad. I mean, it is terrible. It's a terrible, it's terrible to play, but it's actually not that hard compared to some other stuff. Cool. So there's that one. There's actually another riff earlier in this same song that I want to try to look at just for the fingerings of it. I was messing with it earlier. I was trying to figure out. It's this one here. Yeah. I was trying to pick, well, like economy pick it or sweep it. I'm thinking I might have to tap it to get it how I want it to sound. I'm not sure yet. it's very awkward. I kind of like the sound of picking, but I just don't know with all the jumping around how easy that's going to be to do. I wonder if I could. Problem is it jumps back up really quickly, so that makes it hard. We use an open string, but then it modulates up with the same pattern, so I need to do something without open strings. It's just a weird. I just don't think I'm going to do it very clean. This if I tapped it. Yeah, it's much easier. Just got to make sure the notes don't all ring together. And then there's kind of the upper part of it too. How does that go? And then oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be the way to do that. I think. I don't know if this is interesting to anybody, but at least you'll kind of see the process of maybe how I go about practicing this. Obviously, if I was actually practicing this, I would do to get up to speed later on when I do that. I'll spend a lot more time trying to get it as perfect as possible. But for now, I just want to get good fingerings and kind of get it under my fingers. And the speeding up will happen later. And this is one of the reasons I write into a notation software is like I'm going to have the exact same fingerings that I want when I go to try to play this later. So I do these hammer-ons from nowhere when I'm tapping here. And then that exact same riff happens 4 frets up or a major third up. So if I get it in one spot, I can do it in the other. I'm just going to practice this really quick. I like 2 minutes before I got to go. That measure's weird. Definitely possible, though. It's one of those tapping runs where I kind of have to like track both hands. Cool. That's cool. Here's how it sounds if it's played properly. Actually, I'm probably playing faster than it actually is. Yeah, that's not a terribly crazy speed, so that'll definitely be doable. That's fun. That's going to be a fun one to play. I think the tapping is the right approach there. I think I wrote it with the intention of it being picked or swept or something, but I think based on the note choice, that the tapping is going to be the way to go. Now there is the lead guitar that also does that an octave up, so I'll have to decide that one because of the range might be easier to do as a sweep picking sort of thing. So I'll figure that out when I get there. But anyway, all right, that's my live stream for today. Thanks for jumping on, anyone who did. I've got another big video coming out on Monday and all sorts of stuff for the rest of the year. I have some really cool things coming out, collaborations and maybe a music video. I don't know if that's gonna be done by then, but new song. I'm gonna have a new song coming out next month, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, everyone have a good Friday, and I'll probably do another live stream in 2 weeks, would be my guess. So I'll see y'all then.